Okay, so in this video, we're going to have a look at the first part of the short answer questions. I don't think we'll be able to fit all the short answer questions into this one video, so this will be part 1. For the sector below, find the perimeter correct to 2 decimal places. Perimeter is the total distance around the outside of a 2D shape. So here we have a sector of a circle. So the perimeter is going to equal to a fraction of the circle, 115 out of 360, times 2 pi r, because 2 pi r is the formula for the circumference of a circle. Now doing that will only give us this section, the curved bit. It will not give us the entire distance around the outside. We still need to add this 2 and that 2. So I'm going to add 4. Now, what is the radius of this sector? The radius of the sector is 2. So I'm going to replace this r with a 2. Okay, if we were to continue going all around, we can see that the radius is 2. Let's put that into the calculator and see what that gives us. 115 out of 360 times 2 pi r, where r is 2. That gives us the arc, the curve bit, the arc length, plus 4, the 2 radii. 8.01 meters. The exact area. Because the question says exact, we're going to leave it in terms of pi. Pi because this is related to a circle. So area is equal to a fraction of a circle, or in this case 115 out of 360 is the fraction, times pi r squared. Except what is the radius? Well, the radius is 2. So I'm going to times it by 2 squared. Let's put that in the calculator. 115 over 360 times pi times r squared, 4.01. Now, I made a mistake here. Because it says exact, I do not put pi into the calculator. So instead, I'm just going to do 115 over 360 times r squared, which is 1.28, or 23 over 18. Let's just leave it at that, 23 over 18 pi meters squared. Okay, so when we put this in the calculator, whenever it says exact, do not put pi into the calculator. We're just putting everything else, 115 over 360 times 2 squared, and then we can put pi in our answer. Question 8. For each of the following solid, find the total surface area, the volume, and the capacity in milliliters. So question 1, the total surface area. We can see that this is a square pyramid. So the surface area would be the square, the base, s squared, plus. There are 4 triangles, and all the triangles are the same size, so I can do 4 times the area of a triangle. The formula for the area of one triangle is half base times height. S is 6.6. 4 times half times the base of the triangle is 6.6. And the height of the triangle is 5.5. Let's put that in the calculator. 6.6 squared plus 4 times half times 6.6 times 5.5. 116.16 meters squared. The volume. The volume is 1/3 AH. where A is the area of the base and H is the perpendicular height of the solid. So we have 1/3 times, the base is a square, so the area of the square is 6.6 squared. The height of the solid is 4.4. Okay, the perpendicular height of the solid is 4.4. So now we can put that into the calculator. 1/3 times 6.6 squared times 4.4 is 63.888. Wants us to do it to 2 decimal places. So 63.89 meters cubed. To convert this to a capacity in milliliters, 63.89 meters cubed is equal to how many centimeters cubed? Because when we convert it to centimeters cubed, it will be an easy conversion to milliliters. It's a one-to-one conversion. So to convert meters cubed into centimeters cubed, we need to times it by 100 cubed. Okay, remember kilometers cubed, centimeters cubed, meters cubed, centimeters cubed, and millimeters cubed. We have this conversion chart. Times 1,000 cubed, times 100 cubed, times 10 cubed, divided by 10 cubed, divided by 100 cubed, and divided by 1,000 cubed. So, from meters cubed to centimeters cubed, we need to follow this arrow, which is times 100 cubed. 63.89 times 100 cubed is 6389 and 4 zeros. 6389 and 4 zeros centimeters cubed. That gives us an easy conversion to milliliters. It's exactly 1-to-1, so there's 63,890,000 milliliters. Part B, we have a cylinder. The surface area for a cylinder is given by the formula 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. The first one represents the 2 circles. The second one represents the curved section of the cylinder. So we have 2 pi times, what's the radius? Well, here the diameter is 2.4, so the radius is 1.2 squared plus 2 pi times 1.2 times the perpendicular height, which is 5.5. Put that in our calculator. .52 centimeters squared. The volume of a cylinder is given by the formula pi r squared h. Okay, remember, you need to memorize these formulas because they will not be provided to you in the test. Only this one will be given to you. Okay, but the volume won't be. So you have pi times the radius, which is 1.2 squared, times the perpendicular height of the solid, which is 5.5. Pi times 1.2 squared times 5.5, 24.88 centimeters cubed. Okay, cubic units. Question 3, part 3 was convert this into milliliters. Correct to the nearest milliliter. Well, it's a 1-to-1 ratio because it's already centimeters cubed. 24.88 centimeters cubed is equal to 24.88 milliliters to the nearest milliliter, that is 25 milliliters. Question 9. A circle of radius 5 centimeters has a square inside it as shown. Determine the total area between the square and the circle, the shaded area, corrected 2 decimal places. So, because we don't have a full circle, we have a square taken out of a circle, we need to subtract. Okay, there's part of the circle is missing. So the area is going to be equal to the area of the circle minus the area of the square. We know that the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared, and that the formula for the area of a square is s squared. Now here it says the circle has a radius of 5, so let's draw that in. That is 5. Okay, so that'll make it easy to work out the area of the circle. But how do we work out the area of the square? Well, that is 5. This bit has to be 5 as well, making this whole diagonal 10. If we label that x and x, we can use Pythagoras' theorem to work out the length of one side of the square. So we have x squared plus x squared is equal to 10 squared, because 10 is the hypotenuse. So that leaves us with 2x squared is equal to 100. Divide both sides by 2. X squared is equal to 50. Square root both sides. X is equal to the square root of 50. Now we can use that when working out this question. The area of the circle, pi r squared, in this case the radius is 5, pi times 5 squared, minus s squared. We know that s is the length of one side of the square, which in this case is the square root of 50. So we're doing the square root of 50 squared. What happens to that square root and square? Well, they cancel each other out. So technically, we're just minusing 50. So we can put that into our calculators. Pi times 5 squared minus 50 is 28.54. 28.54 centimeters squared. And that's it for this video. Part 2 will be in the next one.